Hi, this is K Debate again. I'm going to be doing a semi-controversial topic today. I haven't made a video in 6 days and I felt I should make one. Okay, today's video is going to be on masturbation. Now, I'm going to keep this PG, so I'm not going to get into details. I'm not going to get into any of that weird, um, anything actually related to doing it, just the ideas of it and where the concepts that go along with it. And I made my notes. Let's see. Please no inappropriate comments. This is educational. It's not for other purposes. Okay. The first part of it, I'm going to talk about porn. This is the mental ideas behind masturbation is you get aroused, and when you look at pornography, it's usually for the purpose of becoming aroused, or because you like it artistically, which is fine. But most of the time, it's for that purpose, and it's for the purpose of masturbation. And I wanted to talk about that it's not wrong to look at things that you like. It is, however, bad to get addicted to things. And like anything that causes dopamine release in your mind, in your brain, it can become addictive. And that's what happens during that. When you masturbate a lot, you are releasing dopamine into your brain, and it is addictive. It just like drugs, just like drinking or smoking, it's also not just addictive but habitual. You can make it a habit, and that's when it's not good. That's when it's not good. Anything in moderation can be good. It can be considered a stress release. It can be considered healthy to help you not think about sex when you're trying to do something else. So it has its uses. It has things that are positive about it, and that pornography is just one aspect of masturbation. So you anyone that knows about this will know the connection between them. I'm not going to get into it. Okay, the next one, fetishes. Fetishes doesn't really have anything to do with masturbation, but I talked a little bit about it in my last video, so I thought I'd bring it up a little bit in this one also. Fetish is just what you like. What arouses you, what makes you interested in things, and it can be. Um, the reason I bring this one up is because a lot of people think having fetishes is bad, and it's not. This it's not bad at all. There are fetishes that aren't socially accepted, and fetishes that are dangerous or what people would consider gross or unsanitary. And I admit those are true. There are things that I don't understand why people like, but to all their own. If you don't like somebody because of a fetish they have, it's not who they are. It's just something they like. Everyone has things that they like that other people don't like. Just talk about religion with people or politics. You're going to get stuff that you don't like, and you're going to hear it, and you're going to become either offended or you know angry or grossed out. And that's just, it's not bad to have preferences. It's not bad. People think it is, but it's not. If you want to comment on that, please don't start talking about your fetishes, but start talking about the ideas behind, the things that you think about them. Uh, I need to clarify that. Um, Say you like let me think of a basic one. Um, you like supermodels. Okay, the most common one in the world. You like somebody that looks like a Barbie doll. Large breasts, skinny waist, not too muscular. You can talk about your ideas on why you think you like that. And if it's not social, maybe it was something you saw once, and it was a person you liked, so you associated the person with the looks as opposed to the looks to the person. And that would be an interesting little story. So you can do that. That's what I meant when I said the details behind the ideas. Okay, the next thing. Okay, masturbation is not unhealthy. There's a lot of myths associated with it. There's a lot of things parents try to tell their kids to keep them from doing it because parents don't want to deal with it. It's not unhealthy. anything in excess can be unhealthy. I admit that. Don't use me as an excuse to say, well, it's okay. If there's a limit, I'm not going to give you an arbitrary number. I'm not going to give you an arbitrary amount or how to do it or anything like that. As long as you do things in moderation, it should be okay. If you're starting to get habitual, or if you're starting to do it just for the sake of doing it, then you're probably not doing it for a good reason. It's not a stress release anymore. You become stressed when you can't do it. And that's when things become bad. That's when things start turning into the negative as opposed to the neutral or positive. And you don't want that. Uh, it can become, life consuming. There are people that do it for instead of important things, especially with younger kids that don't have time management or that do it in bad ways or that do it in inappropriate places and it's not hygienic. But okay, there are. Okay, I'm going to get into the myths now. Okay, I'm going to look it up. Okay, what is it? Going blind. Uh, the climax does change your blood rate, your blood pressure. It does, which can cause mild blurriness of vision at the time. But unless you have some major heart condition or blood condition that's unrelated, it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to cause blindness. You can do it 10 times a day and it not hurt you. Obviously, physically it probably would, but not for the reasons that you think. It's not going to make you go blind. Please don't, use this as an argument for doing it all the time either. It's just something that people made up to scare kids. Okay, let's see. It will fall off. This is for men. Don't ask me what that means if you don't know. Um, that's also not true. It's just not. I don't even know where this one came from. It was probably, a mom talking to their kids like, "Don't do that; it'll fall off." Because parents get embarrassed and say things that aren't true, especially to little kids that they don't want to explain things about. And it's a scare tactic, just like you'll go blind. It's just something that people say, and it's. I don't know when it started. I don't know, but it's not true. And if you don't believe me, ask people that do it all the time, and they'll it's like, yeah, it didn't fall off, and they're 50 and blah blah blah, and they did it however many X times a day for 20 years or whatever. There are people that have, and it didn't fall off. Okay, people say that it's unhealthy or unsanitary. I know somebody was they did it all the time, not all the time, but they did it enough to actually warrant telling me about it because I'm very open with my friends. And they said, "Well, I don't want it. I don't want to get sick. I don't want it. I don't want it to have an adverse effect on my health." I asked them how many times they did it a day, and I was like, "No, that's not like a major. That's not a or how many times they did it a week. That's not a big number. That wasn't enough to warrant it being a habit or being unhealthy." And I told him, I know people that do it 3 times that often. And while I don't condone that kind of habitual behavior, it really wasn't going to have an adverse effect on their. There's a lot of, I believe it was protein. There's a lot of protein in it, in what you release. But it's not enough to warrant you can't get sick from it. You consume a lot more than you get rid of. So again, it's not going to make you sick. It's not going unless you are completely if you don't wash your hands or if you do it in a place where you get it everywhere. Again, please no details about your stories. But unhygienic, you can be as hygienic as you want. Shower, wash your hands. Just don't don't get it everywhere, and you'll be fine. It's a myth that it's unhealthy or unsanitary. It's just people that don't want to deal with it making stuff up. Okay, what's the next one? Okay, it is a good stress release. Oh, here's one. My roommate brought this up, so I looked it up. The story of Onin is it was mentioned to me as being the basis, the origin of why masturbation is considered bad by for the religious aspects of. You've probably heard this one before. It's masturbation is a sin because it wastes seed, which is life, if given the opportunity to become life. This is an argument based off of. It's part of the argument of abortion, and well, I think that's not really related. It has been in the argument, so I'm going to address it. Okay, I'm using Wikipedia to base this off of. Please do your own research. Like anything, always look up your own information. I can give you the basics, I can give you the ideas, but again, I'm a person, I make mistakes, and you should always do your own research. But I'm going to read this directly off of Wikipedia, and you could look it up. It has the Bible reference, so you can just open that up and look at it. Okay, Onan, the Hebrew, I can't read that because it's in Hebrew, meaning strong, is a minor biblical person in the book of Genesis, chapter 38, who was the second son of Judah. Just like his older brother Er, Onan died prematurely by the YHWH's will for being wicked. After Onan's brother Er died, his father Judah told him to fulfill his duty as a brother-in-law to Tamar by giving her offspring. Centuries later, in the days of Moses, this practice was formulated into a law of a levirate marriage, where the brother of the deceased would provide offspring to the childless widow to preserve the family line. However, when Onan had sex with Tamar, he disregarded this practice when he withdrew before climax and spilled his seed, parentheses or semen, on the ground. That was a quote. Spilled his seed on the ground. Since any child born when not legally, since any child born would not legally be considered his heir, I assume that would be his motivation for doing this in the first place. I didn't want to have kids that weren't his. This he did several times, disregarding the principles of a levirate union, and was accordingly sentenced to death by Yahweh for his wickedness. Genesis 38, colon 8-10. This biblical story does not refer to masturbation, but to coitus interruptus. Criticisms, classical views, early Jewish views, influences. Okay, anyway, that's all the stuff that was on Wikipedia. Look it up. Anyway, that was an interesting story because I've heard the stories about this, and I had no idea where it was in the Bible, so it was nice to finally understand that. So, again, most of the stigma associated with masturbation is that, one, parents don't want to deal with it. Two, it's kind of gross. When people talk about it actively, and it's like, I don't want to hear that. Don't talk about your exploits. It's not something to mention to people. Three, it's socially unacceptable in that if you were to randomly bring it up, you can offend people, and it's considered sexual harassment because if somebody doesn't want to hear about that and you're talking about it, in our sensitive society, people will not like it. And finally, it's considered religiously wrong in some aspects, so it's become taboo. It is taboo, which is the sixth one, the sixth example, and it is the taboo. If it's not talked about, it's theorized about, especially with young kids learning about things and they don't know what it means or they don't know the importance of things, and they just go off of what they've heard from their friends or what they can glean from their parents that don't want to talk about it. So theories and ideas, and they get it wrong, and they don't know what it means, and they make stuff up because they're boasting. And it's important to do research. It's important to talk about this with your kids because if you don't, they're not going to learn about it. And it's a very important subject because otherwise you're going to get awkward questions later or awkward situations later, or they're just not going to be healthy because they have no idea what they're doing. It's joked about on TV a lot, and kids don't learn. I was never, personally, I was never given the talk, ever. I learned from my friends at school what sex was, which was kind of awkward and kind of confusing, and I felt that it hampered my ability to understand things in that particular area. Now, I'm not saying that's an excuse for me being weird or open-minded or whatever you think I am. It's just something that I feel would have been good had my parents actually talked to me about it. This is me looking back on my younger self. I was confused about a lot of things. I had questions and my parents wouldn't answer them because it was taboo. Why can I say these but not these? Why can I do this but not this? Why does this say this? And they either didn't know the answers and they pretended to know the answers, or they knew the answers and wouldn't tell me. So um, be more open about discussing things that might not be culture. Because who are they going to ask? Kids at school. It's not the best place to ask personal questions, especially in this day and age when the internet is so apparent and people are going to start looking up things, and it's not going to be a good thing. Anyway, my time is just about up, so I'm going to end the video. If you have any questions, post a comment. And sorry about my hand gestures. Take care and have a nice day.